what the Lord requires of thee, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God. We want to talk this morning from the subject, fourth down and inches. Fourth down and inches. Beloved, have you ever attended a football game and watched some of the things that really happen off the field? The truth be told, there's a lot of activity that takes place on the sideline. It affects the whole outcome of the game. Yeah. It's a very important part of every game, as you normally see what is called a measuring process. The measuring process is about two people that carrying a pole with a change. In the midst of it, they're standing somewhere about 6 feet back on the sideline, and one man is at one point of play, and the other man is about 10 yards down, for the mere fact that he marks the progress of the team. Yeah. It's in this that every team has 4 downs to try to make 10 yards, and the field is 100 yards long. Mm-hmm. If you accomplish that, rightfully so, you'll end up in the end zone scoring what is called 6 points. But when the play ends, there's an official that estimates the spot of the ball. Oftentimes, he put his foot down, but the next thing one does is toss the football where the player has landed. He now measures sometimes because of difficulty, because it's third down, and now there's a decision made, and oftentimes he has to bring what is called the change game. The change game is the two fellows that is holding the pole, the change in between, and they come out and they measure how close they are from getting a first down. It's with that the change length and it stands tall, and despite technology now that many times we have what is called GPS laser. And what you see on television really is the blue lines or the yellow lines that they can't see in the stadium because they're still using what is called the change. Two fellows on one end going 10 yards, and the mere fact that this has been in place for over 100 years. Some say that they ought to replace it with technology, but they've come to the grips that after 10 years, Spalding's officials have declared that the guidebook that started in 1907 is still perfected to the point that they still need this in place. No matter what you see on TV, the mere fact that sometimes the line can be close, but if it's not what the change has got, oftentimes they will signal to the side to bring out what is called the change game. The change game is that official group that now holds up those two poles on each end, and they declare how close you are to making a fourth down. Now, beloved, I've come by because that's illustrated with football, but when God goes to measure, sometimes he don't need a change, but he pours out the mere fact how far you are in your life, how close you are to moving to the next stage. For the truth be told, some of us still are doing the same thing over and over again, and God is a reasonable life. You're now moving into the third quarter of your game. You understand that if you're at over 70, you're now in the fourth quarter. And if you haven't, I feel like preaching. If you haven't got it right by now, beloved, when are you going to stop being an old fool? I know y'all don't understand for the mere fact. It's a sad thing when you get older and you're still trying to be a player. Everybody knows that you can't play the game. Don't need to be nowhere out there. There comes a time when you ought to use the wisdom to pull some of these young men around under your arm and school them. Am I right about it? You ought to teach them certain things, guide them along the way, and that's the standard that God is really looking for. He's really looking for a generation that don't mind raising another generation, but grandmama too busy trying to be as young as y'all ain't. So with this, we now look at an unusual text by the prophet Michael. Michael now spoke to Israel, and he spoke in three essence for the mere fact that the nation has been disapproved by God. He now comes out with a word from God, and he now reminds them, because he prophesies under three kings. Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah was the king. But in the midst of it, Ahaz was one of the meanest kings that he ever sit under. Now Michael had the opportunity to serve under all three kings, but now he reminds Israel that you need to get back to where you need to be. He reminded them there's some things under Hezekiah, there's some things under Jotham that you all knew how good God was and where God has taken us and how good God has blessed us. You ain't the first time you hear a baby cry. Come on now. It's in the midst of it. It's in the midst of it that God now blesses, and he raises Michael up to raise the question that I want to raise this morning. What does the Lord require of thee? He turns around, raises the question, and then he turns around and gives the answer to his own question. He now says that God requires us to walk justly. Not only justly, but to love mercy. And not only to love mercy, but to be humble before him. When I look at it, to do justly means the mere fact that God requires us to do the right thing. It's strange how we can come to church every Sunday, engage in worship. Some of us not to the point that we totally saved, but we still come to church, and they come to church. It's strange how church folk really don't want to do the right thing. Am I right about it? You come, but you totally don't want to do the right thing. You just come for social status. Now, Michael tells us that we ought to make up in our mind that we're going to do the right thing when it comes to our family. He now tells Israel that we got to get back to the old-fashioned way, and he reminds us that God really has a scale, and he's weighing us on the scale. If you really look at it, he now tells men, you know what, it's day and time. We need to really start running our household. Reverend, you need to pause right there, because you're getting in trouble. You're getting in trouble, dog. The Bible I read told me years ago that the man was the head of the house. Am I right about it? I know some of you scholars out there want to declare if that's true, why didn't you allow the women in the pulpit? But the mere fact, I'm not here to argue totally with that, because I can clear you up later on. But the mere fact, when it comes to God, he now didn't separate male and female. And when the King James Version was written, it was a mere fact, not that King James was saved. He just authorized the writing. And in those days and times, women were treated like slaves. But we don't live in those days and times. We live in a time now where women are equal and they can carry the word. But when y'all don't understand how Sister Reverend Marcy, it can be in the pulpit, but now when she gets home, he's in a 40. Her husband, I'm going to preach this today, because you got to understand that to do justly means that the Lord is requiring me to do the right thing. All of us can complain about the world that we live in, and it looks like they're acting the fool all around us. Shooting every day, killing every day. And somebody asked me the question, Reverend, why is all this going on? I said, because it started right in the house. The answer is in the house. You want to point everywhere else but point in the house. Because there was a time that you wouldn't bring it in the house. And you didn't want mama to know you had it. Y'all ain't gonna talk to me. In the house. But now mom and daddy know that you're carrying it, they know what you're doing, and they know what you're selling, and then they benefit from it. But y'all ain't talking. I was raised up under a mama that if it won't right, she didn't want no part of it. I don't care how hungry she was, what you were doing. If it won't of God, you won't gonna give it to her. Am I right about it? And so the writer was saying that to do justice, and not only do justice, but the text get interesting because in Michael's days, the laws were switched around. And under the law, you really could kick a widow out her house. Under the law, in the text, that you could put the kids homeless or put them in an orphan. Michael now calls upon them and declares that the Lord says, first of all, we got to do justice. We got to do what is right. Then he not only says we got to do what is right, he says, but there ought to be a right standard. Look at America real close. The standard that we used to have, one nation under God. Do we have a standard now? Do we have anything to go by? And the mere fact, I can see why Michael was preaching it, because it makes me nervous. What used to be shacking is now fine. What y'all ain't talking about? What used to be is now alternative lifestyle. But when in my days, if your wrist was broke, y'all ain't talking about. I know y'all, I'm getting in trouble, and they were supposed to stay in trouble, but now they said, Reverend, you don't understand. It's an alternative lifestyle. No, it ain't alternative. Because if you ain't walking the way God wants you to walk, y'all ain't talking to me. He now says that not only that, I ought to be walking humbly in the presence of God. So many of us are stuck on ourselves. So many of us think we all that in a bag of chips, and we don't give God the glory, we don't give him the praise. So many houses, they don't even mention God in it, but now Michael is required to get back down to it. I want to switch the text, because as you progress in God, as you see yourself in God, now when we look at the natural football game, you will discover that after 3 downs, so you got a chance to go for the final on the 4th down, and you can do 2 things. You can go for it, or you can punt it. Now some teams, because they look at the opposition and they look at what the other team has, they get nervous. And getting nervous, they feel like they don't want to mess up or make a mistake, so they call it safe, and now they're going to decide to punt. And punting, what it really does is kicking the ball off to the other team. And it now gives them the chance to march down the field. So many times in our lives, we have situations we done gone through, cause us to punt. Now we messed up in our finances, and it caused us to make a choice to punt, so we bankruptcy. We messed up in our marriage and couldn't get things right, so some of us had a divorce, so we punt. And so there are moments in time that some of us was in school, and the mere fact that we just didn't want to do what the teacher told us to do, so we dropped out and we punt. We punt because of the mere fact that we just couldn't hang with it. What punting does is for the moment, it allows you another opportunity. But when there's moments in your time that you just can't keep on punting. You have to make up. If a team keep on punting, he'll never put in his points on the scoreboard. Am I right about it? So if you watch the game closely, you will discover that after a while, they got to face the opposition. They got to make up in their mind that I've got to go for the first down. Well, I've come by in my second point to let you know, beloved, you're now to the point in your life that you've been punting long enough. You've been putting it off, y'all ain't talking. You're made up in your mind that I've done all I need to do. Now I've got to decide to do what the prophet says. I've got to walk righteous. I've got to do the things righteous. I've got to walk humbly before God. Now I've got to make some choices that are going to allow me to go for the first down. I was watching a game some years ago and watched the Houston, Texas, and Indianapolis play, and the mere fact that they got to a point, they were 35 yards away from scoring a touchdown. In the midst of it, they now decide on 4th down, they did what is called a trick play. In the midst of 4th down, the team got set up. It looked like they was going to punt, but all of a sudden they did a reverse. And the man came down and went all the way down to the 3rd-yard line. Not only that game, but one of the greatest games. I got fascinated one night. I was watching LSU and Alabama play, and they was trailing in the 3rd quarter. And when they got down to the 4th down, just inches, they made up in their mind. The play came from the sideline to go for it. And going for it, they took all that they had and went forth with what they knew, and they got the first down. I've come by this morning to remind some of us, in your life right now, you're 4th down in inches. Baby, you right where God wants you to be. You've been backing up for years. You've been scared. Oh, I feel like preaching this. But I come by to let you know you done had some things in your life that you messed up. All of us have. All of us done punished the all one time or another. But you sit there and act like you scored touchdowns on everything you done. But I come by to let you know, put that behind you. Every now and then somebody gonna try to deal up stuff in your life. Yes, you had to punt, but I've come by to let you know that the change is coming out. I feel like preaching for the mere fact that when you find yourself in the fourth quarter, and when you find yourself every now and then in a tight situation, what takes place is you're going to see a gentleman step on the field, and he's going to stop the play. He's going to stop the play because he's the referee. Am I right about it? Well, I feel like preaching because when the referee comes out, he's going to stop the play. And stopping the play means that he halts the play. Now it's called a timeout. Each side get to go over and talk and converse with the coach. Well, I come out to let you know our main coach is God himself. All you got to do is call a timeout. Am I right about it? I know you feel like you're down to your last time, but call a timeout. I know you done lost your job, but call a timeout. Oh, I feel like preaching this time. Because you got to understand that in every game you're going to see the striped shirt. The striped shirt don't make the total decision, but sometimes it affects the game. Now the striped shirt I'm representing today is an angel from God. Every now and then in your fourth down situation, God will send an angel in your life. Am I right about it? And when you look at it in real life, God allowed the angel to blow the whistle. It reminds you that the mere fact that a timeout been called. Now these teams got to come up with a strategy. They got to come out with another game plan. I'll come by to let you know the stuff you used to do ain't working, baby. I'll come by to let you know that you need to come up with something different. And if it ain't worked all these years, why you keep on doing the same thing over and over again? But I'll come by to remind you about a man from Galilee. Oh, I feel like preaching this morning. Can I have two of y'all real quick because I need the change game. It's a close call and we're now in the fourth quarter of your life. I got one here, I got one there, and now the referee blows the whistle. Time out. But now when you come back on the field, he's now going to blow the whistle, but when he starts the clock, that means it's time to play. God is giving you a few moments to think about what you're going to do with the rest of your life. You've been jamming, you've been putting it off for a long time, but it's fourth down in inches. I placed the ball right here, close to getting another 10 yards. You got to make up in your mind that I'm going to march down the field because it's time for me to get some touchdowns. Baby, you can't do nothing with what you're doing now. You're punting, but you're getting nowhere. You need to score because every now and then when you score and put points on the screen, it represents your blessings from God. Am I right about it? Can I preach this thing like I want? And now you discover that you're in the fourth quarter of your life and it's fourth down in inches. The game gets interesting because you made up in your mind and you see physically that they pull out a chain going 10 yards. Now the change is hard and difficult in the physical aspect. But what I like about the Jesus I serve, he don't pull out the change. He pulls out a cross from Calvary. And because he went to Calvary, the cross now can make up for the shortness that I have in the change. Man judge me by the change, and I may not make the first down, but when I think about the goodness of God and all that he done for me, am I right about it? It was the blood of Jesus that was shed on Calvary's cross. Y'all can sit down, but in the midst of it, it's fourth down in inches. Is there anybody here today that made up in your mind that it's time for me to walk justice? It's time for me to do the right thing. It's time for me to give my heart back to God. It's time. I'm in the final stage of my life. Y'all can sit down, but it's in the midst of it. trying to make up in our mind the referee was sometimes represent the angels. He now gonna blow the whistle 3 times. One for the Father, one for the Son, and one for the Holy Ghost. Am I right about that? And when you start praising God, when you lift up His holy name, when you now give Him the praise and the glory, I'm so glad that I've got the Savior on my team. Because every time I get in a 4th down situation, the Bible declares that victory is mine. If I hold my peace and let the Lord fight my battle. How do I know that? Because Philippians let me know that I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. No, not. But this gentleman that I play for, he will recruit himself from heaven. Am I right about that? He looked over and told his daddy, make me a body and I'll go down and redeem me. He played in the field with John the Baptist. While they were in the wilderness, he was traded by Pilate. Y'all ain't talking to me. But after he got traded, Pilate said, I find no fault. And because he came down through 42 generations, this man that I played for, they set the crown upon his head.